is the managing director and the founder. We have Mortiba Habib, who is the COO and the co-founder, and myself, Likem Jogoto, and I serve as the tech lead. So what's the mission of HackerBoost? Our mission is to be the leading Web3 developer hub, empowering developers to thrive in Web3 by providing unparalleled resources, tools, and community support. In doing so, we aim to elevate the decentralized internet economy in Africa and globally. What's our vision? Our vision is to empower a decentralized future, one builder at a time, by revolutionizing Web3 education and fostering a vibrant community of builders and innovators. What is our goal? Our goal is to unlock the builder economy by transforming the narrative from consumption to value creation, empowering millions of youthful builders to build successful Web3 projects in Africa and beyond. So what do you have to expect, or what should you expect in this 8 weeks bootcamp, and what would come after that bootcamp? So we are offering you simplified learning. So our mantra is that we aim to streamline difficult topics and make it very easy. How do we do that? We break down complex concepts into manageable models, making Web3 development approachable and accessible to anyone. Also, we are real world focused. We don't focus on theory, rather we believe in build by practice, right? So, and that would allow you to equip you with hands-on experience to build real-world projects. Also, we enable our learners and our builders to gain industry recognition by giving them on-chain certificates endorsed by industry learners that would enable you to validate your skills to employees and also build an on-chain recognition because it's an NFT which is in your wallet. After the bootcamp, we're offering you an exclusive hackathon by participating in the bootcamp. And this hackathon is highly curated, real-world focused, and it follows directly after the bootcamp. And the prize pool is a very, very great prize. Stay tuned. So I want to leave with this quote. Built by builders for builders. We aim to be the bridge between talent and opportunity to empower builders, build last innovations for lasting impact. Thank you. Over to you, Sarabia.
All right. Thank you, Lika, for that concise presentation. So, yeah. All right, can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. All right, so
Yeah, we
the
can.
presentation, thank you. So I have just 8 slides to present, and I'll be covering the bootcamp structure, and also I'll take you to the classroom, how you can navigate the classroom, and that will include how you can submit your projects, and also how you can, or what you are required to do on the platform so that you will remain in the bootcamp till we get to finalization. All right. So your journey in this exciting adventure begins today. All right. So these are familiar faces. I believe that you all have seen these faces. This is not new to you. So we are going to be the core team. We'll be riding this boat with you from the start to the end. but it does not mean that we'll be the only guys that will be taking you to this bootcamp. Expect to see new faces joining us. Um, for example, next week, I think we're expecting Ibunayo from Nigeria to join us. Ibunayo is a Web3 um, supporter. He has been building in the space for quite some time now. He'll be joining us next week to share a very insightful topic with you. And subsequent weeks during this bootcamp, we'll be inviting some of the OGs in this Web3 ecosystem to join us. But in case you have any concern or you need some clarification, you can reach out to any of these pages you are seeing on your screen. And I'm presenting this to you to know that we are the core team for this particular bootcamp. All right. So let's look at the bootcamp roadmap. We are beginning the bootcamp today, but we have to look at the roadmap. Where are we starting and where are we going? Okay, so the first week, which starts today, we are going to cover Web3 overview. And what are we going to be learning? The fundamental concepts that define the Web3 ecosystem. That's what we'll be learning this week. This week sets the foundation for your journey into decentralized technologies. And it is very important that you take it very serious because, just like every big thing we know today starts from somewhere little. So you have to start from what you may perceive as basic, and you write from there to a particular place that you really know that the basic you perceived is really working for you. So this is where we are starting. Week 1, week 2, that will be next week. We are going to be covering blockchain and wallet security, which is very important as well. So the foundation of Web3 relies on blockchain technology. I believe you all know what blockchain technology is, but we need you to study it again so that you can actually apply it when the time comes. So you're going to be studying the technical foundations of blockchain technology, and you will explore the critical aspects of wallet security. In Web3, there is this thing we say, you are your own bank, right? So we want to achieve decentralization, and that is going across the world. Everywhere people are now thinking about decentralization, and this is a disruptive technology, right? We have to become our own banks because the current system is messing up with us. And as a disruptive technology, we cannot stop it, but to rather find a way to also join it. So blockchain and wallet security is what you'll be learning next week, which is the foundation of Web3 technology. And next week will be the final stage for the beginner cohort. So if you are currently in the beginner cohort, from this week to next week, you will be done with the beginner cohort because that will be the fundamentals. The next weeks coming, that will start from week 3 to week 4. We are going to dive deep into, what we call ourselves, the programming aspect of decentralized technologies. So from week 3, we'll start with smart contracts. So you're going to deepen your understanding of blockchain technology and also dive into the world of smart contracts. This will cover the fundamentals of smart contract development. So we've been talking about what is smart contract. I remember maybe most of you attended our Web3 developer workshops. We didn't have enough time to talk about all of these things, which are very necessary. So in week 3, you are going to touch on the technical aspect and the theoretical aspect of smart contracts. You will know what smart contracts are. And then the next coming week, that will be week 4, you'll start to apply what you learned about smart contracts into practice. And that week, we'll be learning Solidity programming. So you explore the core syntax and fundamentals of Solidity. And you all know what Solidity is. Solidity is the programming language that we use to write smart contracts. So just like JavaScript, Python, Java, Rust, and all other programming languages that they all serve different purposes, right? So Solidity also serves as I think, the most used programming language for writing smart contracts, especially on the Ethereum blockchain. And that's what you'll be learning in week 4. So let me go back to week 1 and week 2. I'll let you know that your success from week 1 to week 2 will determine whether you will move to week 3. Because, like we always say, this is a technical program. And technical program, no one can actually help you unless you help yourself, because it is all about practicals. You don't read and grab, but rather you put it into work, especially when we get to week 4. Everything is about programming. You have to write code. You have to start writing the basics of Solidity. And what should impress you is that if you already know the basics of Python, you know the basics of JavaScript, the basics of C programming language, Rust, all of these languages, if you know the basics, then just know that you know the basics of Solidity programming, because they are very similar. In JavaScript, we say variable, right? Some call it, is it variable? Some call it variable. Some call it variable. So if you know what a variable is in JavaScript, it's the same variable in Solidity programming. Maybe in Solidity programming, declaring a variable and how you handle a variable can be quite different, maybe somehow different from JavaScript, but the definition of a variable in JavaScript, or what a variable is being used for in JavaScript or Python or any other programming language, is the same as the variable in Solidity programming language. So don't be scared if you know the basics. Or another thing I would say is that we also have different kind of people. There are some people in this call who maybe do not know the basics at the moment from other programming languages, but commitment also counts a lot. Yeah, commitment. I know what I'm talking about, and you guys can agree with me. We have fast learners, we have committed learners, and it doesn't matter they know the basics or they don't know the basics. The moment they are committed to learn something, forget it, they are learning it. So don't be scared. When you excel from week 1 and week 2, your commitment will still determine whether you will get to week 4. And when you get to week 4, your commitment will also determine whether you will move to week 5. And that's sending to the next slide. So week 5, right now that you learn what.
Okay, Mandy, before you proceed, some are raising their hands. So Tia and Co, please, if you have a question, you don't want to forget it, kindly put it on the chat box when it is question and answer time. We can go there and then visit that if you have a question, because some are raising their hands and we cannot chip in with to break his presentation.
All right, sure. Okay. So let me talk about week 5 now. After you excel from week 4, you will move to week 5. And what are we going to be learning in week 5? We are going to learn Arbitrum Layer 2 solution. When you start learning week 4, you will understand why you need to learn week 5. Because as a smart contract developer or as an application developer, your main interest is optimization, right? And user experience, right? So you will not want to create an application that when users want to use it, they face so many challenges using your application. And the current stage of Ethereum blockchain, which we are going to be developing our applications on, requires that if you want to optimize your application, then you should think about web layer 2 solutions. And here we are going to be doing everything on the Arbitrum layer 2 solution. So you will understand how Arbitrum enhances the scalability and efficiency of decentralized applications. And don't worry, when we get to Arbitrum, you will understand what Arbitrum is. Arbitrum, just a basic, Arbitrum is currently the leading layer 2 solution, layer 2 Ethereum solution. So you will learn more about it when we get to week 5. Next week will be week 6. And this is where we are going to talk about everything practicals. So in week 6, we are not learning anything like theory. Now, the previous few weeks, you'll be learning theory with practicals because you are still building up your skills during these particular weeks. So you'll be learning the theory plus some practicals that will just be intertwined in the courses that you are learning. So you just like learn this, apply, learn this, apply. Now, when we move to week 6, everything is going to be practicals. So week 6, you're going to build practical decentralized applications, and that will include a voting app. You know, we are currently in an election year, right? So when we get to week 6, you guys are going to build a voting application on the blockchain technology. You will understand why we say that having applications on the blockchain technology is very great, because you are going to build a practical application yourself and you will understand what this particular thing is talking about. You will also build an NFT collection, that is a non-fungible token collection. You will build a decentralized exchange. Currently, we have exchanges. We have Binance Exchange. We have HBTC. There are so many cryptocurrency exchanges that we have right now. And these exchanges are exposed to so many risks, right? Recently, we had people complain about their lost money with FTX. Yeah, that defines a problem of centralized exchanges. So when we get to hands-on dApps, that is week 6, you guys are going to build a decentralized application like Uniswap. So if you don't know what Uniswap is, you can just Google Uniswap. You understand that Uniswap is the leading decentralized exchange right now. And I think currently we are in Uniswap version 4. But you guys are going to build Uniswap version 1. You understand the formula, the mathematical formula that, that was used to build an automated market maker like Uniswap version 1. So when we get to this particular week, you will know more about this. And finally, you will also be building a lottery game. A very interesting application. Likem will understand when I say very interesting application. You guys will love it when you build this lottery game. Maybe some of you will even leverage on it later to build, some games that can pay you money. So try to ride on till we get to this particular stage so that you can build your own lottery game. Now, in week 7, we are going to learn how you can connect your smart contracts to front end. And if you know how to build a website, you understand that website comprises of 2 main important things, which is the front end and the back end. Now, when you come to a decentralized application, the back end relies solely on the blockchain technology. Well, there are instances that you can also create a server to control some things or some functions on your smart contract. But what you should understand is that when you come to decentralized application, most of the things in the backend relies on the blockchain technology, and that is the backend. But you also need to interact with this backend, which is your smart contract. So anytime you build a smart contract and you want to make it come live, you have to deploy your smart contract on the blockchain technology. But when you deploy your smart contract on the blockchain technology from your code editor, your user cannot use your code editor to interact with your blockchain, right? You have to now create a front end, a very visually appealing front end, so that your user can use that to interact with your backend. That is your smart contract. And that is what we're going to be doing in week 7. So week 7, you will learn how to integrate the smart contracts that you built and deploy on the blockchain, how you can bring them to life by creating visually appealing front ends, and then the APIs that you need to use to interact with, to connect your front end to the back end. All of this, you are going to learn that in week 7. And that will now send us to the final week, which is week 8. So week 8 is like, when you go to university, you write your thesis as the final project, right? So week 8 is like writing your thesis, a very important week. We started from week 1, where you start learning the fundamentals, the basics, to the extent that you start applying theory with practice, to the extent that you are now doing practicals, to the extent that you are now doing front end with your backends. Now, all of this will excite you because you have gained knowledge about how to build a decentralized application. So when you get to week 8, we are going to try you. And this try will even excite you because in week 8, we will give you the chance. Just think about any particular project that you think that you can build on the blockchain technology. And we're going to give you the guide to do that. So we have some important templates that will give the templates to you to guide you. For instance, first, how do you define your project scope? How do you brainstorm an idea? How do you come up with a plan? The roadmap and all of that. So when you get to the final stage, which is week 8, your capstone project, you are going to be given all of this guide so that you build your own decentralized application. And mind you, this particular application you'll be building in week 8, if you try your best, it might be the application that you will bring to the hackathon that will be taking place immediately after the bootcamp. And the hackathon, Arbitrum is giving a lot of money for winners. Also, we are going to seek for more funding from different organizations, depending on how you guys are really doing this. We don't want you to just build a project in week 8 and dump it. No. So we want to find a way that not just even the prizes that will be earned in the hackathon, but also we are going to have you incubated and we'll push you to the Arbitrum community and other communities where you can use your products to even gain more funding so that you can scale it to start, to become live in the community. And that's what we're going to do. So this is the roadmap of the bootcamp. Let's move to the next slide. And this slide will now talk about the scheduling of the bootcamp. So what do you expect, or what do we expect from you to excel or to participate in this particular bootcamp? So every week, Monday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., you will receive an email address that will contain the weekly activity learning guide, and that will consist of the projects and then quizzes you are supposed to do in the week. So when you get every Monday, when you receive a message, just come to the classroom. You will see first the material. So when you open the material, you can read about what you are supposed to do in the week, where you are going to learn, because we're going to provide you with resources that you can go and learn yourself. And then when you learn yourself, you come back to the classroom and you have a project that you apply what you learn to do the project. And every week we have something we call evaluation quizzes, just some five objective questions that you answer. just to, we want to use that to evaluate your learning for that particular week. Well, that particular quiz is very important because both the quiz, the evaluation quiz, and then the project that you'll be doing for the week will all get you some grading. So they all attract some points. And these points will be what you will use to excel. And the important thing too is that where you'll be going to learn, some of them will have challenges that you need to, solve the challenges. But still, what we are interested in to, evaluate your progress in this particular bootcamp are the two things I'm talking about: the projects, that's a weekly project, and then also the quizzes. But first thing first, when you get the material or the email address on Monday morning, please open the first material, that's the learning material. There will be documents attached to it. Open the document and read everything about what you are supposed to do for that particular week. This is very important. All right. Okay. So next thing will be every week we will have 2 days office hours or code along sessions. So we are going to be on this journey with you throughout, from the beginning throughout to the end. We will be on the journey with you. So every week, expect that 2 days we're going to have an open hours where we'll communicate the time to you. So maybe we can decide this week, Wednesday, Thursday, there will be office hours. So starting from maybe, for example, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m., or 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., you can join this particular link and we'll be there to take you through the guide. We'll be there to take you through what you are supposed to do. If you have any question or you need any clarification during that particular period, we are there to guide you. Then in the evening, we can also have a time from this period to this period. So it will be very flexible for you to just decide and join. We don't want to make it, look very difficult for you. So the next day, if we are doing like 2 days for the week, so it's going to be at least 1 day, but a maximum of 2 days office hours. And each day we're going to have time like sessions where you can join and we'll take you through the guide and then also, do some coding with you. So if the project in that week is about coding, depending on what you are learning in that particular week, that is what we are going to, be doing with you. And there's also going to be a 1-day peer review sessions. So these, for instance, is very important when you get to the coding side. Now, there is this particular important thing you guys need to know. I don't know, maybe some of you already know it. In programming, peer, teamwork is very important. So there is actually no programming course that you'll be doing, and especially like programming bootcamp that you take, and there will not be something like teamwork, because there is no big app in this world that was built by just one particular person. I mean like a successful app, they always work in teams, right? So that's what we were doing every week. 1 day will be dedicated for a peer review where all of you will be required to join the session. And when you join the session, it will be an open forum where we review each other's work. We contribute. Maybe you are doing this and you see it to be exciting to share, you will share. This is very important. So you guys will take note of it and try your best to join when we get to this stage. And lastly will be the weekends. So every weekend, 1 day, every 1 weekend, we're going to have a deep dive session where we will invite an industry expert to join and share some insights with you. And I already mentioned that next week, Saturday, we are having Ebunayo from Nigeria, who is a web3 OG. Maybe some of you know him. He'll be joining us next week on Saturday to share insights on a very important topic. That topic will be shared to you on Monday morning when you receive the weekly guide. So you guys should lace up and Then subsequent weeks, we'll be having, others joining us on this particular deep dive sessions to share more about us. Some will be sharing how we can acquire funding as developers. So, Charlie, this is very important. We're going to get guys that can guide you to attract funding for your projects. When it gets to the time that you are now building projects, and all you need is funds so that you can scale it. All of these guys will be coming through to take us through. Now, the participation mode, you all know, just like what we are doing, is going to be remote. So live streaming of all sessions with interactive participation through the classroom. So this particular link is always available in the classroom. So whenever you see a schedule, just know that you don't need any other link, but the particular link in the classroom. So what you're supposed to do is that when you get to a time, just come and click on the link, and you see that the session is ongoing. So that's how easy it is. What do you need to succeed in this particular bootcamp? One, actively participate. It is very important. Try to actively participate. We understand that if not most, a lot of us are students at the moment, and we might find it very difficult to participate actively. But if you see something to be very important, you always try your best to find a way to, do it. So we expect that you see this to be very important, and you should find time to participate actively, because it is one of the tips to help you succeed in this bootcamp. Regularly practice. So you're going to have projects that will be given to you every week. Try to do regular practice. Practice them regularly. And whenever we have, a code along session, also try to join the code along session. Open up your code editor. Whilst we are coding, you are coding along, and try to share. That is how we learn. There's no perfect learning than practice, right? If I'm not wrong, there's no perfect learning than practice. And this is what we want to achieve. Every week, we're going to do a code along session. You are not going to be coding alone, but your project, you will code your project alone. The only thing is that we will make sure that through the learning time, we are coding along. And you need to also practice regularly with us. You need to maintain at least 70% grade points in order to succeed in this particular bootcamp. This is very important. If you don't maintain 70% bootcamp, depending on the materials we have down here for you, if you don't excel above 70%, you cannot even call yourself a Web3 developer. And because everything is practice. So there is no way you want to go somewhere and say you are a Web3 developer and you don't even know what a hard hat is. You don't even know what deployment is. You don't even know remix. You don't even know compilation. And all of these things, if you are able to, if before you can know these things, you should be able to maintain at least 70% grade points on this particular bootcamp. And these are essential for you defining yourself or calling yourself a Web3 developer in the open space. So please take note of it. Utilization of resources, very important. We are going to be giving you resources. I repeat again, try to utilize the resources the best you can. Some will be video tutorials from other places, or any resources that we think that it can advance your skills. We are sharing that with you. Try to utilize them very well. Peer collaboration, I already talked about it. Try to collaborate with peers. Now, this peer collaboration, we're going to have a dedicated Discord channel for this particular bootcamp. And if you are participating in this particular bootcamp, we have realized that, I don't know why, you are not very active on Discord, but let's try our best to get ourselves active on Discord. This is a journey we are building together, and we are giving you this advice because it is very important. Try to get used to Discord. Try to get used to Discord. So we will have a dedicated Discord channel for you guys to join. Later, you will know why I'm saying you should try to join Discord, because those that we're passing to, they will recommend some communities, some developer communities for you guys to join. And you will realize that most of these Discord communities will be on Discord or forums, but Discord leads to forums. So you should get yourself used to Discord when we drop the link. All right. 6, we're now going to talk about the grading and the evaluation. I will not spend much time here because this is flexible. So weekly projects, a project that will be given to you, the grading points, it will range from 60% to 70%, depending on the particular project. So every week, we're going to give you a project, and the project will attract from 60 to 70% of the entire week. So weekly, you're required to get 100%, all right? There will be a project, a weekly project. At least try to get 60%, or it can be 70%, depending on what we are giving to you based on the resource or the project. Then evaluation quizzes. The evaluation quizzes will range from 30% to 40%. So every week, try your best to at least answer the evaluation quiz. And without doing this means that you'll be earning 0% in the week. Now, let me explain the criteria, which is also flexible. So how do you gain the 60% when you submit your project? We are going to evaluate based on completeness, code quality, creativity, innovation, and timeliness. So projects will be evaluated based on how well participants fulfill the requirements, the quality of their code, and creativity. So when we are dealing with technical code, we're going to look at the quality of your code. This is very easy. You guys will understand as we move along. We are going to show you, if you don't know, we are going to show you how quality a code can be. And we're going to evaluate it based on this. So this is important. Evaluation quizzes are going to be like objective questions. So every week we'll just give you some few objective questions. Don't use AI, even though we are going to implement some AI for plagiarism and that's it, but don't use it. At least try to use your mind based on what you learn to, answer this, to let us know or evaluate your learning for that particular week. So they are going to be short quizzes that will be given to you at the end of each week to reinforce your learning, graded based on correct answers and comprehension. So that one will be graded by the Google document that will be in that particular thing. So what you need to do is that when we give it to you, just answer and you will see your points over there. That is how it's going to be. But when we get to your capstone project, the project, you're going to be working on one particular project, and that particular project will attract 100%. So we will evaluate that project based on problem-solving approach, technical implementation, presentation, innovation, and impact, which is flexible. In other instances, we will consider business case, right? Because some applications, you require funding or funds in order to scale it. And when you go to some organizations, for instance, let's say you are building a payment application. This is a business application because you will definitely be charging and other stuff. Now you want investors. Investors want to know the business case of your application, right? So sometimes we're going to be considering the business case, the innovation and all of that will be there. So that's why here the criteria is flexible. And the capstone project will assess participants' ability to integrate all learned concepts into a functional, decentralized application. All right. So this is the grading and evaluation strategy for this particular bootcamp. Now, I'm moving to the last but second slide. And what we are going to do now is just a simple walkthrough of the classroom. And I'll close this one and show you a simple walkthrough of the classroom.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So let me just do it this way. No, that way to make it better. All right. All right. So when you go to the classroom, this is what you see first, right? Anytime you open the classroom, this is what you will see. And we have some important tabs. If you are using mobile phone, I think these tabs are located down. But if you are using your laptop, but we encourage you to even use your laptops for this particular bootcamp. But when you check top on your laptop, you see some important tabs. We have the stream tab, and then also the class work. There is one other tab, which is people. So here you can check all the people who are participating in this particular bootcamp. But the most important tabs that you need to keep an eye on so that you'll be current on this particular bootcamp are stream and then classwork. So now let me tell you what the stream is. So on this particular stream, we will be announcing all important things. You can check here in the morning, we announce the bootcamp orientation agenda. And if you check on your email, you realize that the moment we posted this, you receive on your email addresses. And that's what this stream is. So if you miss anything and you get to the classroom, just check on the stream page. You'll see all the important things there. Now, the next and most important tab is the classwork. So this is where you do your activities. So let's go there and check something. Every week, this is what you will see. This particular one is a demo. But every week, you are going to see something similar to this. So we have week 20, and the title is Orientation Demo. Now, what are you going to do? First thing is check the learning activity guide for that particular week. So you just click on it. Then here under, you can see view material. So you can click to view material. When you click to view material, it opens the particular material, like it opens the entire page for you. And on the page, you can read what is there. It says week 20 learning activity guide, what. And the most important part is please find the instructions for this week in the document below. So this is an example of what you'll be seeing every week when you open the classwork. Now, to learn more about what we expect you click to open the document. So just open the document. That one is not, I think that one is not showing up. Okay, it is showing. Good. You can see that one too. So this is how it's going to be. Every week, you're going to see something like this. You're going to see something like this. And what we expect you to do is that when you get to this page, you are not supposed to write anything or do whatever. You are supposed to just consume the content there. So if you open it, consume the content. We're going to have the title of the week, then introduction of the activity guide, what you will learn in this particular week. And then the important part is what you must do. So this will now declare and define the tasks for you. So every week you know, okay, if I open the document, the most important place, and that's why you can see that it is being colored. So when you open, the most important part is what you must do. And this place, you will find the task. So you just get here, we can tell you that, okay, first, open this particular document and read through to this level. And when you get to that level, we expect you to do this and this. Now, the next task is you should go back to the classroom, do this and do and that, right? So there are going to be some few tasks every week. That will be provided here. Then we'll have an additional resources for you. So in the tasks, we're going to have resources, that's primary resources where you're supposed to learn and perform. But there are also going to be additional resources. So if you want to, advance or you still need more, out of what we provided, you can come to the additional resources. And we're also going to have the notes. So this particular place is like an alert. So a place where we will let you know that you must note this particular things so that you will be able to utilize this resource very well. So the document is going to look similar to what you are seeing here. Now let me go back to the classroom again and show you another part. Okay, so here you only go to consume. This particular first, you only consume and know what you are supposed to do. The next thing is to go to the project. So the weekly project, week 20 project. So it will have a title. For example, this particular project is titled Build a Crypto Token. All right. Now you click to expand it. And when you expand, to understand what you are required to do in this particular project, you click on view instructions. All right. Click on view instructions. And the project page will open. When the project page open, we have please find, and you can see the points attached. So this particular project attracts 60 points. That is the points here. So it says, well, please find the requirements of this project in the document below. And I want to just open the document and consume. Open the document. And when you open the document, you will see the requirement for the week. So objective of the week, of the project, the task, and then how you can submit or submission, what you are supposed to do to submit it before you submit. And then we also have an instruction of how you can submit your work. I'll go back to the page and show you, but this one is just provided so that if you don't know, you can read. But for those of you who are here, you don't even need to read this again because I'm going to show you, the practical overview of what you are supposed to do, right? So you come to the platform, you are still on the project page. Now, when you open the document, it will tell you, for instance, this particular work, you are going to write something. Let's say we ask you to write something, maybe an essay or something, something like that, for example. And after that, you should submit your work. So you don't need to create a document from anywhere. You click on the add or create. This is where you submit your work. So just look at it, your work. This is where you submit it. Now, when you open the document of the project, we'll tell you everything about the project. And we'll also show you that go back to the project on the classroom and then do this particular thing or submit your work. And whenever you get back to the project page to submit your work, just come to your work, add, click on add or create. So for example, let's say that we ask you to create a project, then the project requirements is there on GitHub. You have created your project, you've done all the coding and whatever, and now we ask you to provide a public repository or a public address or URL of your GitHub. So here, what you will do is just to click on the link, right? Click on the link and paste your GitHub repository URL here. And that's all. After pasting it, come here and click on mark as done. So I haven't provided anything, and that's why I'm getting this warning. You didn't attach work for 20 projects, build a crypto token. So your teacher will just see it is done, right? So that means if I go ahead and say mark as done, I am sending empty content to my lecturer, but we don't expect you to do that. So when you get to this place, please, depending on what you are required to do for the week, just come to, and sometimes we'll ask you to create a document. So for example, let's say we want you to write an essay for something. Now you will just create a document here. Just click on create a document. A new document will be created, title the document and write whatever you want to write there. And after everything, come back and click on mark as done. That's all. We will receive it. Next is that, let's say Google Slides. You want to present something, or we want you to present something. You create the Google Slides here. Just click on slide to open. After creating everything, just come and click on mark as done, and that is all. So this is how simple the platform is and how you can submit your projects. Now, the last part I'll touch on, let me go back to the class web page. Let me expand the weekly evaluation quiz. So this is the last part, weekly evaluation quiz. That one to click on view instructions to open, right? And when you open this one, what you will see is, so here now that was a mistake. So here, normally this one will attract from 30 to 40 points, depending on how many points were assigned to the project. So if the project, for instance, is taking 60 points, so expect that the weekly evaluation quiz will take 40 points, and all in total should amount to 100. And this will now, be used to grade you based on percentages, right? So the calculation is going to be done automatically on the class. So when you get here, find the quiz. So there's going to be a form or the quiz form here. right? Just click on it. Just click on it. And then, so what you are seeing here now is because they're saying I should request access. So if you are participating, when we create it, it's going to be like an open thing for you. So it's going to be an open thing for you. So whenever you see, just click on it. A form will be open with questions and options, right? So read the question, answer, choose the option. Read, choose just 5 questions, answer, and then that's all. After everything, click on mark as done. So here we don't expect you to, just click on mark as done, and we will get you everything. So that's all for the navigation. Okay, one last thing I'll talk about on this platform is when you come here, anytime something is posted on the stream page, you have the chance to comment. Maybe you are not clear on something and you want to ask a question. Don't do that on WhatsApp. You can do that on the classroom. So, for example, let's say this particular one and you want to clarify on something. This is a project or the learning activity guide. You need some clarification. Just ask your project. So your question, maybe I don't understand, something like that, and we will be able to see everything and answer you. So that's how simple everything will be. Okay, so people here, you can check. One last thing again is the upcoming. So anytime we give you a project for this week, here when you come, you will check the due date. So every week project will only last for 1 week, right? So let's say the project is released on Monday. We expect that Saturday 5, the coming Saturday 5, is it 5? No, sorry, 11:59 p.m. will be the due date. So
Sunday.
you have from Monday, your Sunday, right? Okay, sure. So you have from Monday to, Sunday to just, and when you come here, you can check the due date. So Web3 project, build a crypto token, for example, the due date is Wednesday 11:59 p.m. This is how it's going to be. This is how it will be. We also have next week and all of that. So this is how everything will be. The last particular thing I already talked about it is the join. So anytime we have a session, just come to the classroom. So it depends on your own calendar. Mark your calendar based on the scheduling that will be sent to you. So for example, this week we sent, let's say, a schedule to you that tells you that on Monday, from this time to this time, this will be happening. Try to mark your calendar. Now, when the time comes, just come to the classroom and click on join. Right then you see us on the call, or you see your colleagues on the call. So it's like a classroom. This is just like a classroom. If you're supposed to have a lecture around 9 a.m., when it is 9, go to the class. When you get to the class, even if your lecturer is not there, you can sit and wait for your lecturer, right? So I'm just giving this as an example. So this is how it will be. All right, so this brings me to the end of my classwork walkthrough, my classroom walkthrough. Let me go back to the slide. I think now I'm getting to the end of my presentation. All right. Okay. So now I'm back, and 7 out of 8 slides. All right. So thank you so much. This is the last slide for, this is just my socials. So this slide only present my socials. If you want to reach out to me, we have sahabia@defiafrica.net. For those of you that want to do that officially, but you already have my contact. We are on the same group on WhatsApp. And then this is my Twitter handle. And then this is my GitHub handle. All right. So thank you so much. And over to you, Maitula.
All right, thank you very much, Sabia, for this wonderful walkthrough. I think we are already far above time, so we are just going to open the floor for Q&A. If you have a question, you can ask. Some already asked during in the chat box, and I've been able to answer them. So now, like 5 minutes for us to answer your question. So if you have a question, please kindly raise your hand, and then you will call on board too. And the additional factor I'm going to add is that please always pay attention to your emails. I think we've been able to do a lot of favor by trying to okay, Nazif, go on. Yeah, Nazif, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question. Yeah, this is a typical classroom.
Okay,
You
good
actually raised
evening.
the hand and then yeah,
I'm,
good
I'm,
evening.
yeah, I'm really grateful for this presentation. As earlier on, some technical hitches with my connectivity, and Mr. Abib rightly told me that this session is being recorded and probably will be available for us to revisit. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot too for that. Angelina, you've raised your hand for quite some time now. You can now come on with your question. Angie? Okay. Whilst Angie is preparing to ask her question, if anyone has a question, please go on. So the other factor I was talking about, please, let's always make sure that, okay, Abudu,
Yes, good evening, everyone.
good evening.
It's not actually a question. What I want to request is that can we make the recording available on the classroom so that we can have access to it? Because some of us, our network is not that good at the moment, and then it's fluctuating because it's raining here, and I can hardly even hear because of the rain.
Sure.
But if I
So
get the
that,
recording, I can do a mop-up and then be able to understand whatever that has been said.
okay, sure, that will be done.
All right, thanks very much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. Few more. Coffee? Yeah, we are all ears.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
All right. I want to ask if maybe I registered for only the beginner cohort. Do I have the chance to also register for the mastery cohort too?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what happens is that there was this issue we wanted to address because there are people who are already advanced in terms of Web3. So we needed to make sure that we don't waste their time. So that's why we divided into beginner and then mastery. So during his presentation, Sahabia mentioned that those that are in the beginner cohort, you will be taken through for 3 weeks. And then in the third week going, you will join the mastery cohort automatically, depending on your grade and how successful you've been during the beginner session. So everybody that is onboarded on the beginner session will automatically be transitioned into the mastery cohort. So you don't need to register again, provided you are able to deliver all the tasks and quizzes that will be given to you. So that is it.
All right, thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
two more questions. Thank you too. And please, I was saying something. Let's pay attention to our emails because going forward, we might not be able to continue giving you SMS to remind you to go to check your email, and still many will not be able to do that. So let's ensure that we always pay attention to our emails, and then once in a while, you can just come to the classroom and check to see what is going on, and let's keep the positive noise going. Yeah, Adi, go on. Randy,
Yeah, please, good evening to you all.
good evening.
Okay. Please, my question is that what are some of the tools that will be needed so that we can prepare ahead? Because
Okay,
Okay.
Savia, you can go
So
ahead.
the tools are just what you have already been using to write your programming projects. So, but for some, yeah, this question is very important. One, I would say that you should get GS installed on your machine, that is your laptop, Node.js. Um, I'll share the links with you very soon. After the class, I'll share the links so that if you want to download, you can just follow it and download and install on your machine. Next is you also need a code editor, right? So this is very important. You are going to be using Remix and the recommended code editor to install on your desktop that I'll say VS Code, because VS Code have some extensions like Solidity extensions and other extensions that you require. So just get these two things, Node.js and then VS Code editor. I think that's all. What is also left on?
MetaMask.
Exactly. So MetaMask, even though for MetaMask, you need MetaMask, but even during the fundamentals, you'll be taken through how to install MetaMask and you have that installed. But if you don't have it yet, that's an experience. Try to get MetaMask installed in your browser, and that's all. These are the few things you need to keep up. So Remix is hosted on browser. You'll be using Remix a lot, especially from the mastery session. The mastery session will start from week 3 to the end. And from that session, you'll be using Remix a lot until you get to the hands-on projects where we'll take you out from Remix so that you can now build on your VS Code editor and just submit, something like that.
Exactly. Okay, that's good. The most important tool to HackerBoost account, try to create a HackerBoost account because
Yes.
you'll be using that one a lot. So if you haven't created an account yet on HackerBoost, please go and do so.
Because most of the resources you'll be using, even though we'll be giving you some additional resources, but most of the resources will be there. So if you don't have an account on HackerBoost, which is very simple to create, just go and create it. It will not take you more than 2 minutes or even 1 minute to create an account. And when you create an account, try to gain as much boost points you can. So I even believe that some of you will finish this bootcamp very quick because a lot of the things you'll be learning will be from, the HackerBoost platform, even though we'll also be going to give you some other things, but HackerBoost can take like 60 to 70% of the resources that you'll be learning. So try to get yourself there. There are a lot of important stuffs in the Solidity programming course that some of you haven't done, and some of you have started. So far, I've seen like, is it 19 people enroll in that course? And if they want to testify to you, they will tell you that there are so many important things in that particular course that if you take from the beginning to the end of the course, you can no more call yourself a basic web3 developer, right? Yes. So try your possible best to get there. Some of you will even learn ahead of this bootcamp, and you only be lying down doing the projects. But the projects are very important because this is where you use to even evaluate yourself, not we even evaluating you, but you use the projects to even evaluate yourself, which is very important in a practical learning like programming. So please get your accounts ready and wait for instructions.
Okay, get your accounts ready and wait for instructions. So, if there is one more question, let's have it before we have our remarks, and then we all go for the Sunday party.
In this podcast, I will party.
Okay, okay, Majid, let's go.
Good evening, please.
Good
Please, my
evening.
question is, how do we create the HackerBoost account?
Okay, just go to hackerboost.org.
Okay.
Are you on the WhatsApp page?
Yeah, I'm on the WhatsApp page.
Okay, then that's fine. Just check in there. You will see hackerboost.org. Then you go to create your account there.
Okay.
Very simple.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you go, you actually click on, yeah, you will just see sign in or sign up. Then you do that. And then that's all. Takes
Okay.
less than a minute.
Great. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. Should we assume we've been able to exhaust all your questions? Because this is important. Justin,
Yes, please. Good evening.
good evening.
Please, I'm not part of the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Just drop your number in the chat box. I will quickly add you there.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I think we've been able to.
Yeah, digest everything, right?
Yes. So no more question.
All right.
Okay.
So I think since the session is recorded, it's very important. So we'll be sharing the recording with you very soon. I think it takes like an hour or more. I think an hour to 2 hours for Google to prepare the recording for us. So whenever the recording is available from Google, we will share with you. We'll upload it to YouTube and share the link to you guys so that you can watch on YouTube. YouTube, even if you have bad connection on YouTube, you can still watch it there. But it downloads ahead of you.
Okay. Somebody said we've not added him to the Discord page.
All right.
Okay. For Discord, check on the WhatsApp. You will see a link to Discord.
Another
And
thing
even
is that
check on the website too. Our social media handles are there. You can join automatically.
yes, just navigate to the food bar. When you navigate to the food bar, you can see all our socials and even our office where it is located is there.
All right. So and then also if you are not on the WhatsApp, because we see that WhatsApp is one of the most the one we've been used to in our terrain here for quick dissemination of information. So if you are not there, kindly alert us so that we can add you on WhatsApp. But we would like to ensure that the conversation goes well on Discord and then the classroom platform. That would be very good for all of us.
Yeah. So for specific discussion on the bootcamp, it will be done on Discord because
Discord.
we believe that there will be others joining us from other parts of the world on the Discord platform. And on WhatsApp, you bear with me that so many people outside Africa do not even use WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Discord is widely used globally.
Yeah. So right after this meeting, I think 6 a.m. tomorrow, right? You all should check your emails for the task, week 1 task guideline, so that you can just start your journey. Who else is talking? So I think Sabia.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining today's session. We expect to see you right along with us. And we're going to launch cool dApps very soon. I know some of you are already having some great ideas in your head that you want to bring to life. The journey starts from here, right? So in the next few weeks, your project will become live. And then you also impress yourself and impress the world, because when your project becomes live, we'll try our best to get a way that we expose it, to give it exposure, right? So this is what we expect to see. Thank you so much once again. And the bootcamp will be shared with the recording. Sorry, the recording will be shared with you very soon. Likem, do you have something to add?
No, please. I think you guys have said everything.
Okay, all right. Okay, Matthias, I think we are done.
All right, guys, thank you for joining today's session, and let's always ensure we join the rest of the sessions so that we can have a successful boot camp. And then also the hackathon, which is coming, we need to be prepared for that. It's going to be one of its kind in the environment of Ghana. So thank you all for joining. Hey, who is having a good question? Abdullah Osman. We've closed the meeting on your question. By the way.
So I think if you have any question to ask, you can reach out to any of us via WhatsApp or Discord. So I am more active on Discord. Normally, I'm not that active on WhatsApp. So you can reach out to any of us on the platform. So I think Matthias is always available on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can always reach out to him over there. All right.
All right,
So
guys. Have a nice
have
day.
a good night, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.